Hello Culers, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal and welcome to the match review of Granada 1, Barcelona 1. Barcelona have thrown away the 3 points that we had in our hands. Again, it's a late equaliser for the opponents, and again, Barcelona can't hold on. Another frustrating result, another bad result you've got to say. We were on a good bit of form coming to this game. There were some positives, but for Barcelona, we just looked too tired today, far too sloppy, and overall, honestly, it just was not good enough. That's the bottom line here. Barca have dropped 2 points. When we had the win in our hands, it's frustrating, and without any further ado, let's get on with the match review. And let's kickstart with Xavi Hernandez's team selection. This is how Xavi lined up, essentially, as expected. It was Dani Alves, by the way, at right back over Mingueza. I thought Dani Alves actually was maybe our best performer today. Really, really impressive game by the Brazilian. And other than that, it's what you'd expect from Barca. And actually kickstarting straight on with the match action, I think Barcelona actually probably could have and maybe should have been 1-0 up within about 10 minutes here. It's actually Luuk de Jong again who got himself in the score sheet. Great play by Pablo. Gavi, the ball in is gorgeous. It's a little, dink into the area. Luuk de Jong with some great movement there. He steers into the corner with his head, and Barca apparently seem as though they are 1-0 up, but VAR pulls it back. The linesman called it offside. De Jong from his header was clearly onside, but Pablo Gavi in the build-up was apparently off. Look, for me, it's one of those calls that you think, come on, really, seriously. Look, he's essentially level there, Gavi. It's a bizarre call, isn't it, really? It's silly, but look, the same happens for other teams, I suppose, on this one. It's frustrating, it's crap, and, it shouldn't really be happening, but that's the way it is. So no goal for Barca. About, 10 minutes later, actually, Luuk de Jong had another good chance, this time from a scorpion kick. Good improvisation from him. It was Jules Glad there who got down the left-hand side. So Luuk de Jong there, our main threat, really. And down the other end, I think Granada's big chance in the first half came from Darwin Machis. He had a good left-footed shot saved very well by Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen looks like he's getting back to his, usual self, which is positive for us. But I just think all half long for Barca. Look, I thought it started quite well. I saw our idea of football on there. Granada were giving up possession easily. They didn't have many chances. We were starting to suffocate them a little bit. But I think towards the end of the half, it just got a bit too slow from Barcelona. Like I say, good ideas, good setup. Granada were tough. They sat in as they did, all game really. They were gritty to play again, as we expected. But Barcelona, not really good enough. Not really, elusive enough in the final third. And I think players, like Dembélé in that first half, even Jules Glad, just didn't offer us enough. A positive from that first half, though, was certainly Eric Garcia, who I thought was having an excellent game, but just 5 minutes into the second half, had to go off injured. Big blow for Barca. That's another injury. Can you believe it? It's just injury after injury after injury for Barcelona right now. Longley came on. That was about the 50th minute. And then 5 minutes later, Barca had the breakthrough. Big goal this for Barcelona. I thought we started the second half actually a little bit sluggishly, and actually I thought all second half long Barca were nowhere near good enough. But 10 minutes into the second half, it's Luuk de Jong again for Barcelona with a big header. And you know what, to Luuk de Jong? Fair enough. He's really producing for the team right now. He's playing well. He's got his back to goal playing, good hold-up plays, linking up players into the game. And ultimately, he's putting the ball in the back of the net for us. Really, really good header again. He got one in the first half that was, probably unfairly ruled out. This time, it's another brilliant header. Dani Alves there with a cross on the right-hand side. Like I say, Dani, maybe our best player today. Brilliant delivery by the 38-year-old Brazilian. It's round to Luuk de Jong's head. You've got to say the movement is also good from the Dutch when he just peels away from his marker. The header's powerful. I think Maximiano in goal gets a hand to it, but it's not enough. And Luuk de Jong fires Barcelona into a 1-0 lead away to Granada. And at that moment, it just felt good. It felt like our momentum, was building again. We'd got in front yet again. We hadn't conceded yet. We were in enough control of the game. And honestly, what's maybe so frustrating about dropping these points is I just don't feel like Granada were really that good today. I really don't. They had some moments and some chances, of course they did. It's a football match. But look, did Granada really offer that much today? In my opinion, they didn't. We were completely comfortable with that game. And actually, about 5 minutes after we went 1-0 up, we did make some changes. I think Xavi here kind of looked to kill the game off really and say, yeah, you know what, we're going to take this out of sight here. He brought Memphis and ABDE on there for Jules Glad and Luuk de Jong. And I think normally that would, improve Barcelona. But I actually think it did the opposite. I think this is almost where we slipped the points today because the guys that came on just weren't good enough. ABDE, wasn't producing in the final third, and Memphis just looked out of it. Not pressing, not running. What was he doing up there for half an hour? Honestly, it's nowhere near good enough for Memphis to play that sort of level. And the fact is that De Jong and Jules Glad did better today than ABDE and Memphis, and that's not good enough. So, look, the game had little chances. Like I say, Granada weren't that impressive. We had our goal. We were in enough control. The game started to open up a bit too. I felt by the 65th minute there was a big chance for Barcelona just to kill this game off. And I think the best teams in the world would. Granada were leaving spaces, they looked tired, their fans were, getting on their backs a little bit. The game was there for Barcelona to just put their foot on the ball, play some direct passes, and really go for the throat of Granada, but we never ever did that. We played sluggishly, we gave the ball away, we never got it, another good chance in the game. Our only shot on target all game was Luuk de Jong's goal, and that's not good enough, and that's what's frustrating today, guys. So look, despite a few positives like the immense performance of Dani Alves at the back, I think for Barcelona, like I said a few times, we looked way too sluggish and way too tired in that second half, and even in the first half, I don't think we were good enough, but that second half, man, I don't know what we were doing there. It's really not good enough, and I think we've seen it a few times actually under Xavi so far. Just a drop in level in the second half. I'm sure that will improve with time, but right now it's one of our biggest issues right now. And certainly the red card to Pablo Gavi didn't help proceedings. That was about 10 minutes before full time, and Gavi had already been booked in the first half. Deservedly so, you'd say, and this yellow card, the second one again, is deservedly so. It's not unexpected, is it really, to see Pablo Gavi get a red card? He's a feisty player. It's in his personality. It's the way he plays football. I think it's something he may need to start cutting out of the game a little bit. At the same time, I do feel as if it kind of defines him as a player, the fact that he does lunge into these challenges. But at this stage of the game, we did not need to go down to 10 men. We really didn't. So I think Gavi will feel, a little bit responsible for that. And to try and, combat that red card to Pablo Gavi, Xavi did bring on Alvaro Sanz there for Ousmane Dembélé. And I think, look, of course, Granada then had more possession. They had more balls in the box. They had more set pieces. But there was never a moment in this game where I thought, oh my goodness me, we are on our absolute last legs here. Which, to be honest, a lot of games we are. And actually, this one we weren't, and that's what kind of irritates me here. Like I say, I don't think we should have been conceding today. I really don't. I don't think we were very good either, and maybe a draw is a fair result actually by the end of it. But the fact that we were 1-0 up, even with a red card, my God, I don't think Granada offered a lot today. I really don't. And their goal is just a cheap one, isn't it? 10 men, 11 men. I'm not sure whether this would have made much of a difference here. The corner comes through, it deflects off Busquets' thigh in the end. I think it falls to Puertas. It's a good finish, fair enough to Puertas. He's a good player. He's a very old player for Granada. They love him there. And it is a good finish, on the turn, left-footed, into the top corner. No chance for ter Stegen, and of course, the stadium erupts. Big goal for Granada, and it says it all when they had 6 minutes of added time there to pile all the pressure on Barcelona and try and get the winner, but they were just happy, even against 10 men, to settle for the draw. It's frustrating, it really is irritating, and I think it's just happened way too many times this season, dropping points in these sorts of games. I said in the preview, this game reminded me a little bit of the one that we played against Osasuna not long ago. Well, similar sort of outcome. Barcelona were good enough, we should have held on, but we didn't. And I think way too many times this season, if you go back through our results, guys, you won't get any sleep tonight, because you look at there's teams there that we've got to be beating, and we've just drawn. So many goddamn draws, guys. There's even some bad defeats in there too. But look, on some of the occasions, you can say that's football. It happens, guys. Crap happens in football. Big teams drop points to the lesser sides. You can concede last-minute goals. But I think what Barcelona are in right now is a bit of a pattern. It seems that we can't really keep going for 90 minutes. We're losing control of the games. And ultimately, it always feels like we're ready to concede, even against Mallorca. The only reason we didn't concede, guys, is because ter Stegen popped up with a good save. That's the way it is for us right now. It feels like we're always going to give away one big chance. And as I said in the previous video, that's not good enough. The top teams, they grind out. They don't give the opponents, any slither of hope really in the last minutes. So again, for Barca, what more can we say? I think overall it's disappointing today's game. I thought we had good progression in the first half, but look, second half, nowhere near good enough. Really nowhere near good enough. I think performance-wise today, we can critique it. We can say that's not up to the standard of Barcelona, and certainly not Xavi's Barcelona. So I think Xavi, he won't be happy with that. Another injury to Eder Garcia, maybe even an injury to Dani Alves there too. Pablo Gavi's been red carded there too. So ultimately, I think we come out with quite a sour taste in our mouths really after that draw. And why wouldn't we really, conceding so late on again? We knew that if we won today's game, we would have gone third in La Liga. That of course will not be the case anymore. So we're just going to have to settle, guys, for staying outside the top 4 for now. We've got more games coming up. And of course, the one we've got closest is the Supercopa semi-final in Saudi Arabia on Wednesday. It's El Clasico. It's Barcelona versus Real Madrid. That's what's up next for Barcelona now. That's the reality of it. Xavi has got to pick who he thinks, the best 11 players to take the field for that game. Let's see if we recover a few others too. Maybe Ansu Fati, Pedri, although I'm not sure they'll be in a position to start, which is a little bit worrying. So yeah, Xavi has some calls to make for that one. Today's frustrating. Today's not good enough from Barca, and it's more drop points. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll see you guys soon, and goodbye.